you can call it collaborative, but you could also call it like dependency. Like I need I need to work with all these other people. It's not just I want to, I have to.
Right.
So like do you find that restrictive? Like do the people on your team, sometimes feel like they're being a little bit slowed down, or do they enjoy the multifaceted aspect of it? Like how do you think about that?
I think if you ask this question from my team, depending on the day, they may answer it either way,
Gotcha.
to be honest. But in the end of the day, the regional team or corporate events team or corporate brand team, they all have the jobs as well as I have my job. And in the end of the day, they're there. I'm here to enable the regions. Global corporate teams are here to enable us to do the work. So you can call it a dependencies, but at the same time, like I have never traveled to Singapore or I've never been to Asia, or Samia for that matter, actually. So I think if I put together a campaign and working with an agency or my team and the ideas that they are proposing and we are approving, and if again, yes, it's a dependency to go and talk to region and flash it by them and make sure that they're aware and they understand it. But if I don't do that and I put something out that people don't understand and it doesn't
Yeah.
well or it doesn't translate in different languages, then I'm doing my job poorly. So yes, it's a dependency, but at the same time I really need them to do my job well. I think I'm trying to look at it that way, because otherwise you could just do horrible things,
No,
right?
totally. Like I that resonates with me. Depending on the day, I
Depending
feel
on the
either
day. Yeah.
constricted or like I feel great.
Yeah,
One of the
depending on
things,
the certain teammate I'm stuck
depending on the team.
collaborating with.
Depending on the thing too, and
Yeah.
depending on your day, sometimes you just
Oh,
go,
I know if it's
why can't we
legal.
why can't we just do it already? Exactly. There's always
Yeah.
something. But I think the bigger picture is there, and you just have to remember that
So
you
one
are.
thing that I found that helps is that when you have like all of these different partners that you have to work with, I reframed it as like this is like leadership. Uh, this is what leadership looks like, and that gets like a very bad rap sometimes. Like you say, like, oh, you don't have to have a. People say you don't have to manage people to be a leader, and that's been said so much it's a little bit trite now. But when you start to work with a lot of groups, you really do that saying really does matter because without strong leadership from either a central team or the project leader, things don't get off the ground. It's so easy to fall apart when you have so many different people working together.
Yeah.
And I found that I find fulfillment in the fact that I can lead people that don't report to me, and get big things done that couldn't have happened with even like just my team alone. So
No, that's 100% on point. I think a lot of younger up-and-coming management, they want to be a manager. I want to have my own team.
yeah,
But at the same time, I think the true leadership, to your point, comes from how much can you influence to people to your right and to your left. And if you can't do that, then that's not like true leadership, right?
100%.
You're not able to move things along. And again, it all has to do with communication, being able to bring people on the journey. I think it's all about bringing people on the journey. Like I know it sounds so cliche, but but if you're not thinking of bringing people on the journey, they don't know, right? Your day to day and what you want and things like that. Um, so I think learning, and again, I think it's probably number one advice to anybody who's early in their career. Learn how to work cross-functionally really well. You don't need people reporting to you, Daryl, to what you said, to be able to achieve great things. And you know, and prove yourself, so to say,
Yeah.
to be able to bring impact without having a team. Try that, and that is going to be
I
super
Yeah,
helpful.
some of your favorite like this is, and maybe Phil and Elena, you'll notice this. Some of my favorite people that I've admired usually were like not even team leaders. They were just really smart people that knew how to work across the org and then just get shit done. And they were like so smart, and you're just like, whoa, like that's what leadership looks like without a team. And you definitely. It's
Yeah,
possible and you can do it. Yeah.
yeah. And that's probably one transition from a startup to enterprise is around like your work scope changes, right? Even people who have the same job title at one company, they move to another company, and the job title is the same, but the scope of work is different. What worked? It's probably sometimes reverse of the example that you gave of A's in a large company were just like booking deals because the brand was selling it, and we went to startup and they struggled
Yeah.
to get that same business going. It could work the other way around, where someone was really, really good at their job at a startup, but now coming to enterprise, you're required to do more at a different level. And if you can't kind of uplift without, a pat on the back or a medal or promotion, it becomes very difficult to keep up with the culture.
Mm. What are some of your practical tips or strategies that have helped you, especially at Visa, to bring those people with you along you with that journey, like collaborating, making friends, like building those relationships? Like, I wish I had that piece of advice that you just gave to folks earlier in my career, where you're just like, don't just keep your head down and do your work. Like, you need to bring people along that journey. You need to make those friends, those allies. Like, what advice, what tips do you have for actually doing that?
I think, and I know it probably sounds cringy to somebody who is really young, but you have to talk to people,
Hmm.
like not through Slack. I think this is very important because I I always tell my team, like, this person who's telling you a no or sending you this weird email didn't wake up this morning and said, you know what, I'm gonna ruin your day today. You know, they're
Totally.
just trying to do their job too.
Hmm.
Most likely, they probably did not even understand what you want from them. They don't know you. They've never seen you. They've never spoken to you. You're asking them to do something. And they're probably like, yeah, what? I don't even know what you're talking about. Schedule a call, have a 15-minute call with the person, see them face to face, explain to them what you're trying to achieve. Maybe ask for advice. Maybe they're not the right person. Maybe they could send you to the right person to help you out or to give you the proper advice. I think the human connection and the ability to communicate with people and sometimes cut through that, 50 email chains or like 3 days of slacking. Just pick up the phone. I think this is very underrated skill for a marketer when you should just like quit drafting emails with AI and just pick up the phone and call somebody. And that's it. Sometimes that is the fastest, easiest way to solve things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
such great advice. I find people, myself included, are always nicer in person
Yeah.
or on a call, like especially when you see their face. It's so
Totally.
much easier to just like be a bit more rough in your answer and like say
Hmm.
no, we're not doing this. But then when you're on a call, like, you just like chat about the weather and like how are things going, and then they ask you that same question that you just said no to, like you're just like a bit more open to being friendlier, I guess. So yeah, it's good advice. It's sometimes easier said than done. As myself, like I always default to asynchronous communications, especially when I was in a bigger team. Like those people are busy. I don't want to take up like a 50-minute of their time, because if I do that every single time and the 10 other people do that every single time, like we're just in synchronous meetings the whole friggin' day, and I've got a list of shit to do. And so it's hard to balance that. Like, I want to be asynchronous and be productive and not like take over someone's calendar
Yeah.
in synchronous meetings. But when it comes to like building those relationships, it's always easier to do that with like that human connection that doesn't exist in the written form.
No, it doesn't. And I think another important skill that anybody could master is using the meetings as the forums effectively. If you're sitting in the meeting and you're just nodding your head or you're bored to death, you clearly shouldn't be there or you're not using this time wisely. Because how many times did we all sit in the meeting and everybody's like, yep, yep, sure, sure. And then you walk out of the room and you still have like 10 questions that you didn't ask because
Yeah.
either somebody kept talking about something unrelated on a tangent and you didn't feel like interrupting, or then you got so bored that you completely dropped off in your mind and you decided, you know what, I'll ask it later. Like, be purposeful, I think, with time. To your point, exactly. Not everything needs to be a one-to-one. it means whenever you do have team meetings and things like this, make sure you're using them. I'm telling my team all the time, if you're in a meeting and you're not giving value or receiving value, then you shouldn't be there. It's either meeting provides value to you because you're learning something, or you're giving value because you need it there and people need to understand something that you can give them. If none of this is true, then why are you there? You're wasting your time.